Hello and welcome to the channel. So today I'm doing a review of Rain X. So this is probably the most popular rain repellent slash water repellent for windscreens on the market here in Australia. You can pick it up from your local Super Cheap or Repco. It is about $23 a bottle, and the bottle is about 207 milliliters. So it is quite a big bottle. You don't need to use too much on the car. So you can see I'm just applying it now. So it's different to other rain repellents where they usually use a crosshatch pattern. This one is use circular motions for full coverage. So you can see I'm just doing the driver's side. I'm not doing the passenger side. Just going to see how long it lasts. Going to keep the passenger side neutral. We're going to keep doing tests, water tests, and see how long this repellent lasts. Not too long ago, I did a review on Glacko. Glacko is a Japanese company, and some consider them the best on the market. They are much more expensive than Rain X. So as you can see, just doing a second coat now, as it advises. But they are the most expensive on the market. Well, not most expensive, sorry. The considered best on the market. Now that they come for about $18. You can't really buy it anywhere, so you probably got to include shipping with that. So $18 for 70 mil. So a lot more expensive when you compare it to the $23 for 207 mil. So yeah, just wanted to see, does paying extra mean that it's going to last longer and going to be better? So let's find out. We did find that the Glacko was about 2 months. 2 months, it was really on its last legs and definitely time for a refresh. So yeah, just seeing how that goes. So now all I'm doing, I've got a clean microfiber towel, and I'm just buffing off the excess of the Rain X here. So again, small circular motions, making sure I get good coverage of the full windscreen, or the full half of the windscreen, I should say. And we're just gonna see how long this lasts, because if it does last the same time or longer, then I would like to save you guys quite a lot of money. Again, this is not sponsored or anything like that, just putting two products up to the test. One is cheap, one is expensive. And one's you can buy locally, and the other one you have to get some Amazon packages delivered in the mail before you can apply it to your car. So, just having a look here, taking the tape off, and what I noticed instantly was that there was a difference in terms of the color of the windscreen. So as you can see, just kind of inspecting it now, going to get the camera in for a closer look. But it's hard to pick up on the camera, but there is a line through the middle of the windscreen. Don't know if you can see it there, so you could probably see it just at the bottom there. There is a little bit of a line. Don't think you can really see it from that angle, but there is a line, so you can really see where you've used it versus haven't used it. So this is 1 week later, and as you can see, the rain repellent is very strong on that left hand side there. The right hand side, where I haven't covered, I believe there's still a little bit of spray wax on that, so it is repelling on that right hand side. Obviously not as good as the left hand side, because it's specially made for windscreens, whereas the right hand side just had a spray and rinse off wax. I believe it was Repco Eclipse, which I don't know is for sale anymore, but anyway, nonetheless, the Rain X looks to be doing a really good job there. Alright, so that's 1 week later. Now 2 weeks later, as you can see, the sun is absolutely beaming on the car. Don't advise you to do this in direct sunlight. However, got to do it for the test. So again, we have a look and see. And you can see, I guess, the visibility on that right hand side. You can still see, I guess, through the car there, and you can see it sheet off so quickly. that right hand side is still drying off, whereas that left hand side is done. So definitely doing a job there. Yeah, you can absolutely see the difference there. So this was 3 weeks later. I happened to be driving in the rain, which is really weird because obviously it's the Australian summer. So I managed to find a rainy day, and you can see on the driver's side here, that right hand side, how much more visibility I had than the passenger. I was driving, I wasn't recording. That was my wife that was recording, so I was not recording while driving. I just told her to record, and she did the best that she could. So good on her. Over to I believe this is 4 weeks now, and it's still really, really strong. So what I will say is that this is really, it's starting to look like it's going to come up against the Glacko really well in terms of how long it lasts. So you can start to see, I guess, the eclipse, the Repco eclipse on the right hand side starting to fade a little bit. It's still sheeting off quite quickly, but it is definitely starting to fade. The spray wax and the Rain X is obviously holding on really well. So yeah, as I said, now we're starting to compete with Glacko territory. Now what I will say as a quick disclaimer, when driving in the rain and looking at the Rain Repellent, Glacko is definitely better. So in terms of, I've used Glacko many times, and generally when I'm driving in the rain, it doesn't matter how hard it's raining, I don't need to use my windscreen wipers. I haven't really tried this in treacherous conditions. However, when it was raining in that video that you saw, I didn't have to use the wipers either. However, the Glacko Repellent was just a lot better in terms of the way that it beaded and sheeted off really, really quickly. So in terms of endurance, it's starting to look close. Now, this is an interesting one. We had a really frosty / rainy night, and this is the day after. So you can see that right hand side beaded up really, really well, and that left hand side wasn't great. So again, just trying to get as much footage as I can to show you the performance of the Rain X. I have linked the Glacko at the top here if you want to have a look at that video and compare the two. I guess I did that video and I did a follow-up which was 2 months later to see if it was still holding on, and it was definitely time for a reapply 2 months later. So that's where I've got those figures from. So just having a look now, how are we looking here? So starting to fade a little bit. You can see some cracks appearing in terms of the performance. It's not sheeting off as quick as it was. It is still working really well. So you can see that left hand side's dry and that right hand side's still got some in there. Well, sorry, not some in there, but it's still not as strong. Keeping in mind, I didn't wash the car at all in this period because I just wanted to see the full results. So as we can see, the spray wax has worn off now, and the Rain X is still going really, really strong. Well, I say really, really strong. Not as strong as it was week 2, but still doing a job and making an impact. It still probably wouldn't be time to reapply yet. So all this footage is the 6-week mark, and this is where the Glacko, it was time for me to reapply the Glacko. Keeping in mind, this is my daily, it is outside 24/7, so it's getting all the weather, the sun, the rain, everything, wind, everything, and it is driven daily. So it's really been put through its paces. Now, as I said, this was around the time the Glacko needed to be redone. I'm happy with the Rain X at the moment in terms of it doesn't need to be redone. Maybe in a couple of weeks, maybe, but for now, that's still really good. So in terms of cheap versus expensive, I will give this one to the cheap. Yes, it isn't as good on application. However, it does last just as long, if not longer. Thanks for watching.